6:01. And everybody, if they can please stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay. All right, we need to talk about the minutes. Do you have any discussion or?
I have no comments or discussion for the meeting minutes.
I have no comments either. I make a motion to approve the regular meeting minutes of July 11th, 2023.
I will second.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Presentations. Yep. Promotional ceremony. Okay. This is for Chief Word.
Good evening, everyone. I wanted to introduce, first of all, Sergeant Todd Stanley, if you would join us up here, please. So, Sergeant Stanley is, or has retired as of April the 30th, but we've been trying to squeeze this into the schedule between vacations and other things that have been going on, so we're finally able to do it tonight. So give you a little background about Todd. Sergeant Todd Stanley graduated the Clark State Police Academy in July of 1994 and started his service as an auxiliary police officer with the Village of Phillipsburg Police Department from July 1994 to November 1997. Upon leaving Phillipsburg, Todd began an auxiliary appointment with the Butler Township Police Department. Now keep in mind, back in those days as an auxiliary, you didn't get paid except $1. So you didn't have, it was a real job, but you never got paid for it. You had $1 a year. In need of a real paying job in March of 1998, and while still an auxiliary with Butler, Todd started with the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office as a corrections officer in the jail. In March of 1999, he was promoted to the rank of deputy and assigned to the Jail and Courts Division. In 2000, Sergeant Stanley left the SO to work for Five Rivers Metro Parks as a ranger, and then later in September of that year was offered a full-time position with the Butler Township Police Department. A real paying job. Todd was promoted to the rank of sergeant in March of 2006 to cover the road patrol supervision. In 2019, Todd was also appointed to the Montgomery County hostage negotiation team until his retirement on April the 30th of this year. In all, Sergeant Stanley has served the residents of Montgomery County for over 29 years and the residents of Butler Township for over 27 years. Please join me in congratulating Todd on many years of service and on his new adventures with his family. And we have one more presentation to do here.
Attention all posts and departments, stand by for an important announcement. Today, July 25th of 2023 at 18:04 hours, we recognize that Sergeant Todd Stanley with Butler Township PD, Unit Number 3, has retired effective May the 1st of 2023 with 29 years of service. 27 of those years serving the citizens of Butler Township Police Department. His career began graduating from Clark State Police Academy in July of 1994, with his first appointment in July of 94 working as an auxiliary officer with Phillipsburg Police Department until an auxiliary appointment with Butler Township in November of 1997. In March of 1998, he went on to work for the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office as a corrections officer while still working for Butler Township, and in March of 1999 was promoted to a deputy sheriff with Montgomery County. He left the Sheriff's Office in 2000 to work full-time with Five Rivers Metro Parks before starting with Butler Township full-time in September of 2000. During his career, he's been an ED tech and FTO to many of the new officers and officers in the past, and in March of 2006, he was promoted to the rank of sergeant. In 2014, he was awarded Officer of the Year, and in 2019, he was appointed to the Montgomery County Hostage Negotiations Team. Sergeant Stanley has served the public with honesty and integrity. Sergeant Stanley, it has been an honor and a pleasure to have worked with you throughout your career. From all of us here at Huber Heights Police Department, thank you for your service, and we wish you nothing but the best in your future endeavors and retirement. Sergeant Stanley, badge number 3, EOW 1806.
You guys want to get a couple pictures?
Let me get one with you.
Okay. Our next presentation tonight is, I'd like us to please welcome Jason Leslie to the front, please, here. Tonight's presentation is ceremonial swear-in for Sergeant Leslie, who started his position June the 1st. Jason started his police service in December of 1996 with the Lewisburg Police Department as a part-time officer after graduating from Sinclair Police Academy the same year. Jason's formal education over the past several years also includes a bachelor's degree in criminal justice and psychology, along with a certificate of completion of Northwestern's Public Safety School of Staff and Command. While still at Lewisburg, he picked up another part-time commission with the Preble County Sheriff's Office as a deputy in January of 1997. And while still maintaining both part-time commissions, he took a full-time job with the Ohio State Parks as a ranger, assigned to Caesars Creek State Park from 1998 to 2003. Due to state budget cuts, Jason left the state parks and took a full-time position with the Lewisburg Police Division as their assistant chief from 2003 to 2006. In 2006, Jason accepted a full-time position with Butler Township and gave up his many part-time jobs. In 2008, he was promoted to detective, where he worked general assignments until 2013, when he was assigned to the new bulk currency task force. His tenure with the task force would span over 10 years of high-intensity and quick turnaround investigations that would provide him federal law enforcement status and travel all over the United States. To date, and with the assistance of Jason over the past 10 years, the task force is responsible for seizing over $15 million in cash proceeds and over $50 million worth of illegal street drugs from the Mexican cartels. Jason started his new assignment on June 1st as our new sergeant. So if you would, raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Jason Leslie, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution and laws of the United States of America, the Constitution and laws of the State of Ohio, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of full-time police sergeant for Butler Township, Montgomery County, Ohio, to which I am appointed. Congratulations. So Jason has been off and running on his, on all of his assignments, and had said he's very surprised at how busy the road is. He doesn't get to sit in his car and watch the hotels like he has been, so we'll get a couple pictures maybe real quick also. That ends my presentations.
No, you're good. All right, we're going to go ahead and start the public comment section for tonight, and if you would, come to the podium and state your name, address. We like to limit time to 3 minutes each if possible.
Yes. No, there it is. Richard Oakes, 1397 Jackson Road, Vandalia, Ohio. After the last trustee meeting, I did follow up with the new district traffic operations engineer, Jamie Hollingsworth, and had a good conversation with her. She returned my call on Tuesday, July the 18th. I sent a follow-up email to her, which I'm not going to read, on July the 20th. And then she sent me an email on Friday the 21st, and I'll just read part of that. And I called over to your office, and I think I sent you an email too. But anyway, I don't know where it went through or not, so I say, yes, the 35 mile per hour is approved on Jackson Road. And she said, I'll send Chief Porter a note to proceed forward with the sign installation. Has she got that to you yet? Okay, well, I won't take any of your thunder during your report. But I just wanted to, because I didn't know whether my information got back to you guys or not. I think she's going to be really good to work with, and I talked to her about several other projects that I'm actively involved as a traffic engineer in the region here and stuff like that, and looking forward to working with her. I think I don't know how ODOT ever found her, because she's literally been all over the world. So, looking forward to it. Well, doing what I can, and I'll help Jeff if you need me. I got some ideas where we should put the 35 mile an hour sign and stuff like that. Thanks.
Thanks, Victor.
Anybody else tonight for public comment?
Hello. I'm Melanie Phelps Powers, and I live at 7515 Yorkshire Drive. And I have a couple things. First, Yorkshire Reserve, the neighborhood, we have an HOA, and I'm not sure if this is anything that you guys can even help us with, but the HOA still collects their money, but whenever we have like a complaint or things have kind of gone awry with a bright yellow house that has been introduced into the neighborhood that everyone keeps talking about, so we actually called the HOA and said, hey, who authorized this house to be bright yellow? It has to all be neutral colors. And they're like, well, we can't do anything because it hasn't been turned over to us. The actual HOA, I'm not sure, paperwork or something. So they said that they can't do anything. So basically, why are we having an HOA and paying a fee if they're not going to back up the rules that we're supposed to abide by? So I'm not sure if that's something that I can bring up here or what I should do with that.
Who's in charge of your HOA?
So it's like, I believe it's Town Properties, but they said that Dries, who originally started the community, hasn't turned the establishment or the area or whatever over to them. I'm not sure the exact words that they used because my husband sent them an email with a picture of that house. And they were like, oh, we can't do anything. We can't enforce the HOA rules. And I thought, then why do we have one? I'm not sure what else you do other than mow the vacant lot that's next to us where the runoff goes. So I was just curious, like, we should just stop paying our HOA.
Yeah, we can look into it for you. I don't know if it's like an older, I mean, if it's the newer section and it wasn't, those parcels weren't included, I'm not sure. I've
No.
never heard this before.
Okay, so it's actually on Northernton. So if you drive past my house, which is the first one on the left,
Okay.
the very first street on the left was one of the very first ones that went in. And all the way to the back, there's a house that doesn't really fit in because it was there first.
Okay.
And then there's a little tiny like section where a house went. So they put it in the back, and it is bright sunshine yellow.
Okay.
And you can see it from the front and the back, and it's
Yeah, I wonder, because there were old portions of land
yes.
that I don't think were part of the original plat that was approved, so that could be one of those parcels. I'll look into it, though.
Okay.
And get back to you.
And the other thing that I wanted to bring up was, I know several years ago there was something on the ballot about, I believe it's a home rule that we have to get put into effect in Butler in order to get rid of or make a resolution in reference to homeless people or beggars that are out. I'm not sure if anybody noticed the giant Dixie where the vacant land, like, they have moved so many carts, and they actually have pitched a tent, and they're hiding behind a little bush. And I went over there yesterday to take a picture, and the lady flipped me off, and she said, listen, B, what are you doing? And I said, you can't be here. And so, of course, she kept saying, I can F and be wherever I want. And I'm like, no, this is my township. This is where I pay money. You can't just keep coming in here and making a tent city. So I don't know what has to be done or how I can help with whatever this home rule thing is that we have to get passed.
I've been talking to the people at Corson as well over there, and they said since they moved in, from their view, looking in, it's like the whole world.
100%. And that's why you can actually track the carts, because they steal the carts. So when you start to see them all, they're in the wooded area between there. And my daughter recently got a job at Cold Stone, and the homeless people came and stole the chairs off the porch at Cold Stone. And she said, we didn't even notice it because they were sweeping. She said, we turned around and our chairs were gone. And my daughter's 16, it's her first job, and I'm like, I don't want homeless people out there at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night when they're getting ready to close up, because they think that this is now where they live. So how can I help or get information to pass on to the people that live around here about how to get this started so that we can make a resolution?
Chief, can you speak to that a little bit?
There's a couple different things going on. So one of the first things is the home rule is something that has to go up on the regular ballot.
Yes, I knew that,
Okay.
but I didn't know
So there's
how.
a lot of education that has to go into that, and it's going to be too late this year to get it onto the ballot, and so it's obviously something that the trustees will have to look at with probably some guidance from our law director for next year. Because it's going to take probably anywhere from 6 months to a year in order to get the education piece out there.
Actually got shot down twice already.
And I actually think that hasn't been enough education on that, and I'm kind of loud, and I have a lot of friends here, so I can really help to kind of educate them and push them in the right direction. So that.
On our agenda, but there's some pros and cons also with it, so we're going to be very careful of that as well.
Okay.
So we've been talking with the county and the chief.
Is there some place I can go to get more educated, like a website, or can
I can
somebody
send you
me
some information.
Okay, because I would like to get more information
Yeah.
before I start pushing it out.
I can send you some information. And as far as the panhandling, like we can't completely regulate it, but there is some measures and regulations that we could potentially pass as far as restrictions, time, place, and manner restrictions. But it would have to apply to every kind of vendor or solicitor. And you can't be too restrictive because, it's a First Amendment right to be on the street, basically. So there's, to an extent, we can do some regulations, but not fully prohibit it.
Okay.
It's high on our radar at this point.
Yeah.
It's really, my office is right here, and I'm in the middle of Lane Hall, back all day. It's gotten really out of control.
The ones that just yesterday moved to the sidewalk area that look like, I don't even know what to call it, but they actually even have dogs, and I don't understand. Yeah, because people feel sorry for the dogs. People don't care so much about the homeless people, which I guess is awful. But they get more sympathy when they have a dog. But I'm thinking, how is that dog okay to be outside in 100-degree weather all day?
Well, most people don't know that we also have a part-time social worker that's trying to place these people. So I don't want people like
Oh, I'm aware of that.
So, and also, Chief, they've been working on removing them from the property. And that's why you see some of the items and people on the streets.
That's why I figured they moved to the sidewalk.
Yeah.
And so I was...
So just to give everybody a little bit of an update on this whole circumstances, several weeks ago, we found out that there was a large encampment in the property immediately behind Sam's Club and Dodd's Monument, and they'd set up large camps inside of there. We went in, we gave them notices to remove themselves, we gave them notices to get their stuff together. Once they reached the ends of their limit on their times after giving them extensions, we even worked with them. One of the groups, a couple of them were actually offered housing and they refused it. Can't make them take it.
I know.
Can't make them, we're dealing with mental health issues with these individuals. We finally moved them off the property and told them they had to completely remove themselves from the property and stuff. Obviously, we can't sit there and take their stuff and put it into storage, as you know, and hold on to it and stuff. And so they have the ability to keep going back and doing this, and locking them up in jail and charging them is not fixing the situation either, as you know. But what we try to do is keep them moving and keep them moving towards either shelters or moving towards help and utilizing our social or crisis intervention worker in order to try to keep connecting them and keep trying to get them the services that they want to use or that they will use and need. We've been working with them every day, trying to move them along. But we're getting to that point that we're just going to probably going in and take it all as trash and remove it all, But what we're trying to do is give them the autonomous to really, so that they can, it's their property, and that's the last of what they have and hold on to. And so it's, we could create more issues with their mental health by completely removing it. We want to give them a chance in order to try to fix it. But we're running out of space and time. So it's a very, very difficult situation that we're dealing with, and we're constantly battling it out every day. So.
All right. That's all I can.
But we're very much aware of it.
I didn't think you could ignore it.
We get asked a lot of questions about it.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for your time.
Thank you for coming and talking through these things with us.
Thank you, Ms. Power.
Okay, anybody else?
Resolution number 23-34, a resolution amending pay rates and defining holiday pay for part-time positions in the fire department. These positions were studied and evaluated and compared with other jurisdictions next to us to try to get the rates in line with our neighbors. And it includes all of our part-time rates and our part-time rate for our mechanic. And then also on the holiday, it's just aligning our contract language for how we pay for holidays. So.
Okay. I have none. I make a motion to approve resolution number 23-34, a resolution amending pay rates and defining holiday pay for part-time positions in the fire department.
Second.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, resolution number 23-35, a resolution authorizing the police chief to purchase 2 MDT computers from Bright Computers for the new Dodge Durango vehicles. The total is $7,950 for both MDTs.
Okay, so just so you know, last meeting we approved most of the build-out equipment. This is some of the additional stuff that we have to put in now on top of that, and is part of the outlined budget back in October, November of last year.
I have none either, so I move to approve resolution 23-35, a resolution authorizing the police chief to purchase 2 MDT computers from Bright Computers for the new Dodge Durango police vehicles.
Second.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, resolution 23-36, a resolution authorizing the police chief to enter into an agreement with Professional Counseling Services of Ohio, LLC, to provide wellness counseling for the police department. Chief Porter's been working on some wellness initiatives for the whole department. This would offer 1 wellness counseling session for each officer per year, and the total amount is $3,375.
I think this is a great idea, and I think this is a good move on the part of our department. I think just in light of a lot of activity and things that have gone on over even just the year and a half that I've served, I definitely see the need for this. So I'm grateful for this, and I think this is a good idea.
So this is a particular program that is it's really kicking off across the United States by many agencies, and it is becoming more and more popular. It's becoming one of the trends, and it's fairly inexpensive when you look at what you can save up front on lawsuits and other types of issues down the road, and it also creates some resiliency and longevity in the officers, and tries to head off that burnout issues that happen halfway through their careers. I'm sorry? Absolutely, yeah. And obviously most of it would be covered by the insurance and stuff like that, but yeah, so they would carry it on if they wanted to do other than the 1 session.
All right, I make a motion to approve resolution number 23-36, a resolution authorizing the police chief to enter into an agreement with Professional Counseling Services of Ohio, LLC, to provide wellness counseling for the police department.
Second.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, resolution 23-37, a resolution authorizing the fire chief to enter into an agreement with Emergency Networking for reporting software for the fire department. This is necessary for state of Ohio compliance, and the total cost of the agreement is $10,085, with a one-time implementation fee included in that of $3,035. The annual fee would then be $7,050. Chief, do you have anything you want to add on this?
No, just that we've been working on this for over a year, looking at different reporting software. The company that we have now does not comply with the state of Ohio at the end of the year. They've been bought out. So the new company would gladly take us on for $16,438.
So we found this company that will do just everything that we needed to do for $7,050 per year after that. So it should work out well for us, and we're saving over half the amount of money that we would if we went with the new company.
I have none. I make a motion to approve resolution number 23-37, a resolution authorizing the fire chief to enter into an agreement with Emergency Networking for reporting software for the fire department.
Second.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, that is all I have.
Thank you for the authorization on those two purchases. And then I also wanted to pass on National Night Out will be coming up Tuesday, August the 1st, 6 to 8 at Stone Springs Nursing Center. We've got a lot of different things that need help with hot dogs. 6 to 8. If that time changes, I'll let you know, but that's all I have. We did.
First off, I'm sure all the departments are passing that resolution, and hopefully it'll encourage some others to come on board with us. So thanks for that. And then we also, I want to report that we were able to get a $150 grant from Royal King a couple weeks ago. So we're still trying to bring us some more money as we spend it. Some spend more than others, but we're trying.
Free bag of popcorn for that.
You never know. Oh, no, it's not Royal King, my bad. It's Harbor Freight. I'm glad you said popcorn. It was Harbor Freight. Yeah. Thank you.
Man.
Correction. I'll have to work on them next.
Yeah. All right, Jeff, I see you got a few notes over there.
Yeah, GT Contracting, our crack sealing contractor, finished up today. I was able to go out and look at all the roads. I gotta say, it's probably the only time I've ever had a contractor come in and not had a complaint. So they did a great job on the traffic control and everything. So I had a few questions about why, but no complaints as far as the work being done or anything. Which again, I was a little bit amazed by that, but I'll take it. So Antioch School Road, we were getting complaints about the condition of the asphalt on the west end where it ties into Clyde. Most of you know where that tight turn is down through there. Again, I think that that was caused by some truck traffic that is probably a little bit too much for that area. And it's a tight turn, so those wheels turning on it is really deteriorated that. But it's got new asphalt on it now, so the guys were able to complete that while I was on vacation, so that was nice. They're actually in the process of working on some areas on Fly right now, so those will be finished. Should be done by Thursday. Naira Paving will be kicking off our resurfacing program next Thursday, and they're going to start on County Line Road. So, and we got some repairs done on some crossover pipes there, so we're ready for them. So that's what I got for now.
Yeah, just newsletters. The community newsletter went out this weekend, so a lot of the summer activities and dates are listed in there. Obviously, Chief mentioned National Night Out, and then we've got our cruise in coming up on September 15th, so we're working on planning for that and getting sponsorships together. I think that's all I've got. Yeah.
What was the date on that cruise?
September 15th. That's Friday, September 15th, from 4 to 8. Then we also have the August 16th, the open house for Mando is from 6 to 8 on August 16th as well. Yes, and that is also in here, Saturday, October 7th from noon to 6. Yep.
Very good.
I just wanted to pass on that the Rhinewood neighborhood is very grateful for whatever assistance you provided to them regarding that issue, that little project that was ongoing. So I keep getting comments, and they're very grateful. So I just wanted to pass that on to both of you. So thank you.
Good. Thank you.
A few things. First is that I'll say a couple of things on the immediate horizon. You guys got my invites to the virtual picnic on Saturday, so you guys are welcome to come to that. If by chance it does get rained out, the following Saturday is the rain out date. So right now there is some chance of precipitation, but you guys know how that works. It kind of goes all over the place. So if there's rain at that time, the rain out date is set for next Saturday. We'll see what happens. So I expect a good turnout from the crew out with the dog leg right in the White Ocean area. Then also, maybe like a strong following Friday night is going to be a really neat time. Excited to see that come together, and been just really encouraged with the way that a lot of members of our community have just continued to talk about getting involved in that, and what a meaningful involvement that was last year, and how many years that you've had. Excited to see that tradition continue. I thought that everything this last weekend from the air show parade went really well, and
Just realized my mic wasn't on, but it's okay. I thought the air show parade went really well, and that was a neat involvement for the community, and was excited for that this weekend to be involved in those things. I guess just to kind of launch off a little bit of that discussion that we were just having with Ms. Powers that she was bringing up related to home rule, and then also discussion on kind of the ongoing homeless problem. Chief, obviously, and Chief Porter specifically, I know we've got two over there. Chief Porter, this is one area that I know, our police department is regularly dealing with, and I know that it's also something that can be kind of overwhelming. Are there specific areas or things that you would need from us, even just as elected officials? Are there things that we can do, noising these things around? Like, so for instance, at this picnic on Saturday, be at the picnic with, Phil Plummer, or different people like that who, are there ways that we can help you raise awareness? Because, we have a small, mighty department, and I know that you guys take on everything, that you can. But I know as well that there are a lot of limited resources and things, and that what I would consider a heckling process that you're describing there takes time and manpower, and those are things that, quite frankly, our department, I think, has very little to spare. So are there things that we can do as elected officials, or even just as residents, ways that we can help with this issue? Because as she described, this is our community, and I think that, generally speaking, we have a lot of residents that take pride in our community and want to be a part of the solution, and don't just expect the police to do everything as well. So what are some things that we can do to promote awareness and participate in making the solutions happen?
I think one of the things that I learned recently, and it's indirect, but it's my understanding after talking with Christina, who's our crisis intervention counselor, is that right now in the Miami Valley, it used to be that there was not a problem with housing. Right now there's a 60 to 90 day waiting list for people to get into housing. And so there are people who need to get into housing. There's other people who just don't want to. But right now, 60 to 90 days for somebody to get housing is unacceptable in this day and age. And it's because of the way that the real estate market has flipped, and the cost of housing and things like that. So some of these rentals that they were using for some of these housing projects and stuff like that have gone for sale. And so there really needs to be a concerted effort by the local legislature to address housing, shelters, and things like that, and that really needs to be looked at. That's down the road, but when we can't send them anywhere and we can't take them anywhere, and all we're doing is shuttling them from one agency to another agency. I mean, we were kidding around earlier in the afternoon today. It was like, okay, if we move them down the road, then they're not our problem anymore. Well, they're still our problem, and they're always going to be a problem for the whole community, because we're all a big community here, and whether it's Harrison Township or Vandalia or whatever, we're all still experiencing the exact same issues, and so we need to be working on it in a really collaborative effort. But it's really it's getting to the core of where can we get these people to once we get them out. Okay, so it's one thing getting them out of the woods, it's one thing getting them down the street, but there's no destination for them, whether it be shelter or housing or whatever. It's not existing right now, and so that's something that really the state legislator or local legislators really need to start looking at, at the next level, whether it's county level or whether it's state level.
Yeah, so obviously I think, we all share the concerns about those things in our community, and, I want us to continue to bring these conversations up, and appreciate the work that you do in the department, Chief, on those scores to provide leadership. And I want us to continue to bring it to the table in whatever ways we can. And then I do also think that it would be worth us mentioning the home rule again, bringing that to the table for a roundtable discussion or a workshop or something again soon. Maybe we can put a plan in place to actually put forward that education or what that would look like, and just say, what's our timetable? We've kind of kicked it around a number of times, but maybe we need to sit down and just say, okay, if we all think that this is a good idea, what does that look like? So maybe that could be next month's workshop or the month after, depending on what's on the schedule. Yeah. So we actually did an initiative pretty early on when I first came onto the board. One of the things that we did was we put a number of the signs up kind of around the specific areas where they tend to linger, just as a please do not give to the panhandlers, contribute to the solution is what those say. So we can't put up signs that say you cannot, because we can't then come behind and regulate that. But what you can do is you can do like what we did at a lot of those juncture points, the please do not give kind of an idea. Yeah.
We wouldn't be able to put.
Yeah, there's specific federal regulations that we can't put signs up on ramps at all. And then certain county roads we can't put signs up on, and just because of the sign regulations that are part of the Ohio code, is that we have to be very, very careful where we put them. And then, like I said, it's the panhandling, standing on the corner in the public right-of-way, is protected under First Amendment rights. And so there have been many, many lawsuits that have gone out, and the panhandlers know how to file lawsuits, and they can get the ACLU to come in and support them on a lot of those things. And so we have to be careful how we approach it. And so we've been very selective on how we put these signs up in the district, trying to target the areas where we know that they have been before. That says, I think it says, please give responsibly or something like that. Right. So I mean, those are some of the different things, but to be, we've run through this course of questioning about what can we put up and how can we put it up and where can we do it and still be in conforming to the law. So, but yeah, we look at that constantly on different areas and different ways in order to address it.
I think that's all that I have, just as far as different things to discuss. So appreciate it. Pass it over to you, Mike.
The parade was good. It was probably the best well-attended parade I've ever seen. The weather was good for the whole weekend for theirs, so it was good for them. They put a lot of planning and time into that, so I'm glad to see them. And I think the parking was a little smoother than it was the year before. So, and then I also wanted to thank Chief for, again, just for fiscal panhandling. I think it's such an issue. I know you and I talked quite a bit about it, but I mean, I just think that a lot of people don't know that they just think we're just running instead of having a lot going on. But, so to continue to work on that, I really appreciate it. And that is all I have.
Okay. All right, I make a motion to approve the financial statements and pay the bills of the township.
Second.
Yes.
Yes.